The Spurs wasn't a dynasty though.
And whoever said that was delusional. What the?
And I don't know what to tell you.
I think it's the fact that the Spurs is like crazy separated between the championships.
Yeah.
I think that's their thing. A dynasty is like bang, 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 bang.
Is that a dynasty? I didn't know.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. The dynasty, but I'm just saying that's the case that those people have.
I mean, the Patriots were a dynasty. They didn't just win a bunch of just back to back to back. That shit was spaced out. Tom Brady has the most Super Bowls out of any football player ever, and you would have said that those Patriot teams, that the Patriots were a dynasty team. Yeah. They didn't win back to back.
Pat's ain't a dynasty. Nobody's a dynasty. I'd argue that. No.
I think he would say that they're different. It's different for football.
But even with the NBA, I would say if you look through the 2000s, most the NBA is written like the story of the NBA is literally written through San Antonio and LA for the most part. If you look at how many finals appearances and wins Duncan has and Kobe has in the 2000s, it is impossible to deny that they are a dynasty. And for that to be continued into the 2010s, like midway through the 2010s, his last championship was 2014. That's crazy. The nigga won in 99, 2000. That was his first ring, and his last ring was in 2014. And he won 3 more in between that. Yeah. And it was a team that was constantly, how many years did they have being a 50, 60 win team?
Thank you for bringing that up. Dynasty. 73-9 is fantastic. 67 wins is crazy too.
Let me read what Daddy wrote because there's some credibility to it. Bill Simmons says this is his Grantland article. In general, the word dynasty gets thrown around too liberally. They don't happen anymore, regardless of the sport. The last dynasty was probably the 1996-2001 Yankees, who appeared in 5 of 6 World Series and came within 1 inning of winning all 5. In the NBA's 7-decade history, we only witnessed 4 true dynasties. Russell's Celtics, 13 years, 11 titles. Jordan's Bulls, 8 years, 6 titles. Magic's Lakers, 12 years, 9 finals appearances, 5 titles. And Mikan's Lakers, 6 years, 5 titles. Who have to be included even though they thrived before things like the shot clock, dunking, and multiple black guys on each team. Bird's Celtics, 7 years, 5 finals appearances, 3 titles. Could have snatched the 80s dynasty title from Magic's Lakers if Lenny Bias didn't decide to get high. Duncan's Spurs, 9 years, 4 titles. Never made you feel like, my God, how are we going to stop those guys? Shakobi's Lakers, 5 years, 4 finals appearances, 3 titles. Became something of a lost dynasty. The guys who blew a chance to own the 2000s because they couldn't get along. Nobody else is worth mentioning.
It just sounded like a story time take for the last.
Now, Mike, he wrote this.
That literally was a dynasty, and you just told a story. He was just like, "Well, I didn't like how they
2012.
Yeah, I didn't like how they broke up."
I don't disagree though. I don't think that's. I agree with what he's saying though. I ain't gonna.
Is it just a matter of holding dynasties to like a higher standard?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I mean, 9 finals appearances and 4 championships. It's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy to me. But whatever.
The Spurs. Like I'm all for high standards. I think again the him. I hate when people call every person every best player on their favorite team a him. I hate that. It's corny. The superstar thing, same thing. But when it comes to dynasties, I mean. Nah, I think that's a pretty arrogant standpoint to say the Spurs weren't a dynasty. They were consistently good time and time again, and if they weren't good, they won the chip.
Consistently good doesn't necessarily mean you're a dynasty, though. Like,
my bad. I take that back. Consistently fantastic. They were sick. They were like, hold on, let me pull it up if we need the numbers. Like we gonna act like the Spurs.
I think, like he just said, though, the point of the dynasty is the sheer and utter dominance from a title standpoint, from a finals appearance standpoint, and then consecutiveness in there. When the Spurs went on stretches of not winning titles and stopped with the dominance, even with the finals appearances, that's what he's talking about when it comes to a dynasty. It's just good teams.
From 99 to 07, they had 4 chips.
You keep how many years is that?
That's not a lot of years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's 8 years.
In 8 years, they won 4 championships.
And if that's not high enough for you, then in 5 seasons they won 3 chips, and it was very spaced out. It was literally chip.
And again,
space chip.
And let me say this too. He's also attributing. Well, he said 9 years, 4 titles. So apparently it's 9 years, 4 titles. 9 years, 4 titles isn't. I don't think it's that.
Well, did he say this? 80 Celtics were a dynasty? Because
Yeah, he did.
if he's okay.
He said they could have been. He said they could have been. He said they could have been.
He said they could have been, but they just didn't.
But the Lakers were. The Showtime Lakers were.
They won enough. They won 5. They won half of the decade. They won.
They won 5 and 9, but 4 and 8 isn't.
Yeah,
that's
no. It's
insane
4.
to me.
It's 4 and 9. He's saying it's 4 and 9. Say you
Wait,
counting wrong? He said 4 and 9. I just want to make sure.
1988 to 99, then 2000 to 2001, 01 to 02, 02 to 03, 04 to 04 to 05, 05 to 06, 06 to 07, and hold on, let me count the third time. let me hold on.
That's 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 8. It's 8.
Yeah. So 4 and 8 isn't a dynasty, but 5 and 9.
He then stretched it on. Yeah, he must have added 08 for no reason because that's just
to make his point.
That's just making a point. That's literally.
I don't think that would have been the case.
That's literally what it is because
2012. Yeah, it probably was. I guess, but he would have counted. I feel like he would have counted all the way to 2012. But even then, it's still the finals appearances. How many times did they appear in the finals in that stretch of time?
You were just talking about Sage. You just counted wins, right?
Yeah, I just counted
when
wins.
did they lose?
The difference between what he just said and Magic Johnson.
Well, the only time Tim Duncan lost was 2013, so they went 4.
No, they didn't make it. Did they?
No, I'm saying in that stretch they went to the finals 4 times in 8 years.
Oh, okay, yeah, they went to 4 titles, 4 appearances in 8 years. Doesn't sound like
okay.
That sounds pretty fantastic.
This don't sound.
Fourth one, especially when that fourth chip you're referring to is by far the most spaced out one. So you're literally getting back to back to back. Well, not back to back to back. You're literally getting chip, no chip, chip, no chip, chip. Then you're getting that space that would require dynasty rather than like a three-peat, and then he wins completely out of his prime. And
then what's the space? What's the space between the last one and the third one? The fourth and the third?
The fourth and the third is between. Okay, no. My fault. So 99 to 03 is the biggest gap. That's if you want to go high in 4 seasons, but it's 2 seasons where they don't do shit. And then it's another gap, another ring, another gap, and another ring.
That doesn't sound like I don't think that's a dynasty.
But I don't feel like dynasty should just be limited to winning a chip, which again, if someone can show me that's what the term dynasty came from, strictly just winning championships, I thought being a dynasty was just being a dominant franchise, which at the end of the day, we play regular season for a reason. If you're consistently the best or one of the best teams in the regular season for a 10 plus year span, that seems pretty dominant. When niggas look at your team every year and they say they have a shot to win it, like don't sleep on the Spurs. That's a real thing. Like niggas really said no matter what, they treated the Spurs like the damn Patriots. You don't count them out. Yeah. Like you don't count them out until that buzzer's over. Like no one wanted to bet against the Spurs. No one was betting against Pop and Duncan. Niggas was not doing that for real. They were a dynasty. Again, they had the longest stretch of winning 60 game seasons, I want to say, ever in the NBA. Like I don't see how that's not a dynasty.
Even if we were to go from 07 to 13, they had 360 game win seasons with that run too.
I don't know. They're talking about dominating the league though. I that's the I guess
4 out of 8 is dominating the league. 4 out of 8 is not. If three and what was it? So what were the other ones? I wish I had the tweet on screen. I really
did the Warriors dominate the league? Having the Warriors,
I want to say, did the Warriors not dominate the league?
The ones that Bill Simmons counts, 13 years, 11 titles.
That's easy. That's easy.
Fine.
8 years, slavery 6 titles. 8 years, 6 titles.
Yeah, by the way, context matters too. Thank you, Don.
Fair
enough.
Fair.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
12 shit has 90s era, but okay.
12. See, Sage, it matters.
The era in terms of like Bill Russell beating.
No. The bullshit 90s era.
That's him. That's him.
The bullshit 90s. Oh my God, Jordan had
12 years.
Jordan was guarding Shaq and
12 years,
and the King.
9 finals appearances, and 5 titles.
12 years, 9 finals appearances.
12 and 5 literally would be inconsistent. 12 and 5 is inconsistent.
But he's talking about the 9 finals appearances as well.
I don't give a fuck about those. That's inconsistent. It's dangerously inconsistent.
4 finals appearances.
Bro, that's still like if 4 no, that's fine. But if
I know they didn't win, but like
if 4 championships in 8 seasons doesn't matter, then there's no way on the same end you're gonna say 5 and 12. is a dynasty.
That
Because
is true.
a dynasty is about
when
hold
for
on.
an
A
entire
dynasty is about
decade you get to the-
domination. It's not about having a chance
Yes.
to win the chip. You said dominate. So I don't care about you showing up to class and then flunking out, my nigga. I care about
when
you
for
acing
an
that test,
entire
right?
when for an entire
Just saying, bro, that
consistent.
doesn't make sense.
when for an entire decade you get to the finals, bro, I think that matters. As opposed to, I'm looking at it now. We
It's a
said 99 was the
50-50.
first ring. 99 was the first ring. They play 17 games, they win it. Then this looks like they get to the Western Conference Finals and lose. Then they play 9 games the next year. Then they
Bro.
play 24 games, so they win the
Bro.
finals that year. Then they play 10 games the next year. Seems like
Bro.
they're getting knocked out of like the second round, bro.
Bro, I really want to paint in the most kindergarten way how flawed this shit is. You're saying a dynasty is about domination. A dynasty is about knowing that you're going to win. You just belittled the Spurs for that same ideology.
Let's take Magic
No, hold
in them
on.
out. Let's
Hold
take
on.
Magic in them
Hold
out.
on.
Okay. No,
The
we're gonna go back and forth.
But
We'll
if
take
it's
Magic
a
out.
whole toss up,
We'll take
if
Magic
this
out.
team wins,
We're taking
that
Magic
makes
out.
sense.
But again, they don't even have the Spurs don't even have a chance to win. They're not even making it. But let's take Magic out. Fine. Let's get real strict on what a dynasty is. You got to win them up. You're absolutely right.
So if you want to just go MJ,
Look at us
Bill
slandering
Russell.
Tim Duncan now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
And
Yeah,
Mike,
the-
you want
yeah, the whole